Don't rush this moment. Don't skip it. Don't pull away. Because what you're feeling right now, the confusion, the emotional numbness, the silence from people, the heaviness in your heart for no clear reason, it's not random. It's not just stress. It's not you overthinking again.
No, it's something sacred. Something Allah is doing inside you. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when Allah decides to rewrite the heart. And when that time comes, the world stops making sense. You start feeling disconnected from people you once laughed with. You grow tired of conversations that once excited you. You begin to withdraw, not because you're lost, but because you're being found. There is a version of you the world shaped, the version that wanted to be liked, to be understood, to be chosen. That version is dying. And the soul Allah created before the world touched you, that pure, sincere, radiant soul, is waking up. And awakenings never come softly. They come through breaking, through pain, through silence, through nights when your chest feels too heavy to explain. Tell me honestly, haven't you felt it? That strange stirring inside, the sudden sensitivity, the craving for peace, the discomfort in fake connections, the hunger for something deeper. That's not weakness, that's your soul returning to its Lord. Allah is removing you from the version of yourself built on fear, pain, and expectations. He's peeling away layers of your past so your true fitra, your pure, gentle self, can breathe again. And yes, that process hurts. Returning to yourself is not peaceful at first. It's painful. It feels like losing everything, when in truth, Allah is restoring everything to its rightful place. You're not changing, you're remembering. Remembering the version of you that felt Allah deeply. The you that prayed with trembling. The you that cried in sujood without knowing why. The you that loved gently and purely. Life hardened you. People disappointed you. Loss reshaped you. Silence matured you. Pain refined you. But Allah never let your soul die. He is calling it back now. That's why your old life feels too small. That's why your habits feel uncomfortable. That's why your old dreams no longer inspire you. Your soul has outgrown the life you once begged for. And now Allah is preparing you for a new chapter. One where you no longer abandon yourself to be loved. Where you no longer silence your truth to be accepted. Where you no longer shrink your soul to fit into rooms that were never yours. So stay here. Don't rush away. Don't rush away. Don't distract yourself again. This isn't just a video. It's a mirror. And by the end, you'll understand why your heart broke the way it did. Why you lost who you lost, and why your soul feels different now. Because your story is about to make sense. Not in your mind, but in your heart. Now breathe. We begin. There was a time when everything looked fine on the outside, but inside your soul was whispering. It asked you to slow down, to listen. But life was loud, people were louder, and expectations were heavy. So you carried your heart quietly, like a secret no one noticed. You didn't realize when you started softening yourself for others, lowering your voice to avoid conflict, agreeing to things that didn't sit right in your chest. You didn't want to be the problem. You didn't want to lose people. So you abandoned little pieces of yourself, not all at once, but slowly. A boundary here, a truth there. You smiled when your heart was tired. You said it's okay when it wasn't. It's okay when it wasn't. And people called you strong. But they never saw the They never saw the nights you stared at the ceiling with tears you couldn't explain. They never saw how heavy your silence had become. Then one day, something inside you whispered, enough, enough shrinking, enough pleasing, enough apologizing for having a heart that feels deeply. And that's when the return began. The strongest hearts are not the ones that feel nothing. The strongest hearts are the ones that feel everything and still choose to love, to try, to hope, to pray. Do you know how much courage it takes to stay gentle in a world that has tried to break you? Do you know how much strength it takes to keep your heart open after you've been hurt? Do you know how much faith it takes to continue believing in goodness when life has shown you pain? Your softness is not a flaw. It is evidence of how deeply Allah has touched your soul. Because when Allah enters a heart, that heart cannot be anything but gentle. Look at the Prophet Lekfithia, the most powerful leader in history, yet his heart was the softest. He cried when he prayed. He forgave when he had every right to punish. He smiled at those who hurt him. He made space for those who were difficult or broken. Power outside, softness inside. That is not weakness. That is divine strength. And you are walking that same path. There were moments in your life where people took advantage of your softness. They mistook your forgiveness for lack of self-respect. They misread your gentleness as vulnerability. They believed your kindness meant you would never walk away.
But they misunderstood something most people do. Just because your heart is soft does not mean your soul is blind. You saw everything. You always did. You just chose compassion over retaliation. You chose patience over reaction. You chose peace over proving a point. You didn't stay because you were weak. You stayed because you loved. And loving, truly loving, is one of the hardest things a human soul can do. But now you are learning something sacred. You can have a soft heart and still have boundaries. You can care deeply without carrying everyone's pain. You can forgive sincerely without allowing the same wound to repeat. You can offer kindness without abandoning yourself. You can be gentle and still be powerful. This is the beauty of your return. This is the maturity of the heart. This is healing. Your softness becomes intentional. Your compassion becomes wise. Your love becomes guided. Your mercy becomes strong. You no longer love to be approved. You love because Allah placed love inside you. You no longer give to be valued. You give because it is who you are. You no longer forgive to be seen as good. You forgive because your heart tastes peace in letting go. Your softness is not something you need to shut down. Your softness is something you need to protect, because it is one of the last remaining proofs that your heart is still alive, still connected, still open, still capable of reflecting Allah's light. And that is one of the most powerful things a human being can hold. Your heart did not remain soft by accident. It remained soft because Allah protected it. Even when life tried to harden you, even when people tested you, even when betrayal bruised you, even when disappointment shook you, your heart did not close. It cracked, it bled, it trembled. It trembled. But it did not turn to stone, because Allah never allowed pain to replace your humanity. Yes, your tears came quietly at night. Yes, your chest felt heavy on days no one knew. Yes, you carried more inside than anyone ever saw. But through all of it, your heart kept beating with gentleness. And that gentleness was worship. Your softness is not emotional weakness. It is spiritual strength. Because when the heart remains soft, it remains connected to Allah. Hard hearts cannot cry in sujood. Hard hearts cannot cry in sujood. Hard hearts cannot humble themselves before God. Hard hearts cannot feel the pain of others. Hard hearts cannot taste closeness in prayer. But your heart can, because Allah preserved something sacred within you. Sometimes you look at others and think, I wish I didn't feel this deeply. It would be easier. But easier is not always better. Easier is not always higher. Easier is not always higher. Easier is not always closer to Allah. Pain makes the soul real. Pain teaches sincerity. Pain opens doors no comfort ever could. You did not soften because the world was kind. You softened because Allah touched your heart in moments no one saw. Do you remember those moments when you cried quietly in sujood and your tears were not sadness? They were truth. When your chest felt full while reading Qur'an, as if a light was being poured into you. When you forgave someone not because they deserved it, but because your heart felt lighter when you did. When you helped someone without expecting anything back because that's just who you are. When no one was watching, that is the heart Allah is protecting. Soft hearts do not break easily. They feel deeply. Feeling is not weakness. Feeling is life. Look at how children cry easily. Look at how they love without calculation. Look at how they forgive without conditions. Their hearts are untouched, pure, soft. And your heart, even after everything you've been through, is still capable of love, still capable of mercy, still capable of gentleness. That is not a small thing. Some people go through hardship and become bitter. But you went through hardship and became more compassionate. Some people get hurt and decide never to care again. But you get hurt and still choose empathy. Some people close their hearts to protect themselves. But you let your heart remain open. Just more aware, more wise, more discerning. This is what healing looks like. Not becoming cold, not becoming numb, not becoming distant, but becoming someone who loves with clarity, feels with strength, and gives with intention. Your softness is not gone. It has matured. You no longer pour your entire heart into everyone. But the ones Allah places in your life with sincerity, they will feel something rare in you. Because your kindness is not loud. It is quiet. It is humble. It is real. Your love is not dramatic. It is steady. It is patient. It is honest. Your compassion is not forced. It flows from the depth of a heart that has seen pain and still believes in goodness. That is a heart Allah has touched. That is a heart Allah has refined. That is a heart Allah has chosen to keep soft. Because there is work ahead, love ahead, purpose ahead, healing ahead. Softness is not the journey's end. It is the doorway to your next chapter. A chapter where your heart is no longer unprotected but still open.
No longer naive but still kind. No longer self-abandoning but still loving. No longer weak but gentle with strength. This is the you that Allah was leading you toward all along. The version of you that can love without losing itself. The version of you that can forgive without erasing itself. The version of you that can give without emptying itself. The version of you that can feel deeply without breaking. Your softness is not what hurt you. Your softness is what kept you human. It is your gift, your light, your closeness to Allah. And Allah says, the most beloved to me are those whose hearts are soft. So protect your softness. Guard it, honor it, cherish it. Because your soft heart is a heart that knows Allah. And not everyone can walk with the returned you.